What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. I'm Narik Chase and I'm finally doing it. My spoiler review for Captain America Civil War. The beginning of Captain America does start off with this one sequence where you kind of can see what was going on back in like World War II and everything. And you see that the super soldier program is being initiated and everything and how it's affecting Bucky. And I thought that was actually pretty cool. So after that, we had this intro battle with the Avengers now going after Crossbones. Black Widow, you got Falcon, Scarlet Witch, you got Captain America, Crossbones, which honestly looks badass. I like his outfit. Now in the comics, his outfit has this little skin tight thing, and then you know that looks badass. I like the film where you actually had like armor on it, so it was pretty cool. And there's even this fight sequence between Captain America and Crossbones. It was pretty brutal, and I like the fact that they compensated for Crossbones being human by adding them little enhancer things on his suit. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, during that fight sequence, Crossbones ends up apparently committing suicide, and with Scarlet Witch's help, she ends up, saving Captain America, but at the same time, deflects the blast and ends up killing these civilians and everything, which leads up to the next sequence of this conference scene, which happens to be maybe one of the most standout sequences in this film. They get footage of what happened in the First Avengers and Winter Soldier, what happened in Avengers Age of Ultron, where all these big natural disasters where people are getting killed, and it's kind of the Avengers' fault. So, of course, now everybody's being split up on the idea of should they be controlled or not controlled, and you can kind of see it from everybody's points of view. And that's one of the things I liked about this film, was the fact that everybody's opinion mattered. I wanted to see what they thought about it, why they thought about it, and I like that. I love that. And it also kind of shown them in the light of fear, and I like that, because for the most part, when you see the Avengers, everybody's just sitting here happy to see them, but at the same time, people are scared, and I like that this film addressed that. Now I'm going to skip to the part where Captain America is looking for Bucky along with Falcon's help, and I think because the Shield was trying to go kill Bucky, so Captain America's trying to stop them. But of course he trying to take Bucky in himself, that way Bucky doesn't get killed. And then we get one of the most badass sequences where we see Black Panther step in and ends up fighting Bucky. Now the reason why in this film we have Black Panther chasing Bucky is because it was set up to where it looked like Bucky had killed his father. So of course Black Panther is out for revenge, and the fight sequence is actually pretty badass. So with Captain America's intervention, once again, you have this great chase sequence in the tunnel. And it's pretty cool how they shot it, where you can see Bucky and Black Panther and Captain America actually running faster than the cars. And it was all practical, so it looked completely good. Another sequence I wanted to sit here and talk about in the film is the part where they actually introduce Spider-Man. And it's pretty cool because you got Tony Stark coming to his house, talking to his Aunt May, who looked super hot because she was super young. Which, a lot of people was like, okay, why is she so young? She's supposed to be older. But I didn't really care, because it actually kind of fed into the story a little bit, because Spider-Man in this story is younger. And I think Tom Holland, I think that's what his name was, did a great job as Spider-Man. And I like that back and forth banter between him and Tony Stark. And it does make, what makes a person wonder, how did Tony Stark know that Tom Holland's character of Peter Parker was actually Spider-Man? So we actually get an idea what his suit looked like, and I really appreciate the fact that his suit looked amateurish. That's unlike Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man series. They had like a professional suit, even though you really couldn't figure out how they got that suit like that. But in this one, it looked more like an amateur, so that was done pretty well. That was actually a pretty funny sequence, and it does, it kind of lets you know how, what's going on through Tony Stark's mind when he's talking about taking in Captain America. Because one of the things about this film that they do establish is, even though everybody have their own different ideologies and everything, that they're not trying to hurt the other opposing party. They're just trying to sit here and make their point, make their case, and go about their business. Where you have Captain America and his crew sitting here trying to protect Bucky and try to figure out and try to save the world, even though they know the truth. But at the same time, you got Tony Stark's side, who's trying to take them in, because they know if the government actually goes in to take them in, it's going to be a real issue. Which leads up, of course, to the most badass fight sequence in superhero history. All of the superheroes are just going at it. I mean, you got Captain America, you got Black Panther, Iron Man, War Machine, Vision, Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Black Widow. It showed everybody's perspective, and nobody fought just one person for the whole time. There were just a lot of swaps and everything. This is without a doubt one of the best fight sequences, again, in superhero comic book films ever. I had absolutely no idea who the hell Zemo was until I actually started watching this film, did a little research on him. But Zemo infiltrates S.H.I.E.L.D., gets to Bucky, uses the mind control thing that they do, and Bucky ends up going ham, covering Zemo's tracks. And it's pretty cool because Bucky is kicking everybody's butt. Black Widow goes after him, gets her butt handed to him. Sharon Carter, she fought. She had a pretty good moment. She got her butt kicked. Tony Stark did a surprisingly good job kind of sticking with Bucky for a little bit, especially the part where he put the little gauntlet thing over his hand with his watch and like caught the bullet before it actually hit him in the face. So that was a pretty good sequence too. And you see Black Panther actually step up to fight him too. Captain America seen him in the helicopter, so when Bucky was taking off in the helicopter, Captain America ran over there and grabbed the helicopter by its railing, and then he grabbed the little platform by its railing, and he was holding on, and he was making sure that the helicopter couldn't go nowhere. Like that right there was tight. And it just shows that Steve Rogers is completely badass. He might not have super strength, but for what he does, him being a super soldier and everything, he just owns it. Now, Iron Man does end up finding out the truth that Steve Rogers and Bucky are telling the truth. So he goes to aid them to go get Zemo to prevent them from awakening these other super soldiers. But he ended up finding out that Zemo wasn't going to awaken these super soldiers. He actually wanted to fracture the Avengers team because of the death of his family during the events of Avengers Age of Ultron. So, of course, he ends up showing Tony Stark that Bucky ended up killing his parents. It's just no words to describe. He just went ham. He was actually taking on Captain America and Bucky at the same time. And that literally was one of the most emotional fights and one of the most badass fights. And it really did give Tony Stark like a really dark moment. And you can actually sympathize with his character on this. His best friend is trying to defend the murderer who killed his parents. And it was just one of the most epic fights, I have to say. And even Black Panther being in that sequence actually shows, growth with his character, because he doesn't see Zemo truly as a villain anymore. He doesn't see Bucky truly as a villain anymore. And he's actually kind of taking the high road. And it's pretty cool seeing that, because that does make, him like, it makes him stand out a bit as a character. So there you have it. It was choppy as hell, but I don't care. I wouldn't sit here and throw out some ideas of certain sequences of the film. Of course, I did not address everything, but I would chop it up and make different videos based on certain elements. Like I want to talk about Spider-Man like I did with the Black Panther, and probably one or two other ones. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this spoiler review of Captain America Civil War. In the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on the film. Remember, every Friday, videos will be uploaded. Until the next video, Narik signing out.